Hey Faulkner family, today we have Dean Cain sharing an encouraging thought with us today. Dean Cain, what would you like to share with our Faulkner family?
During this crazy time of COVID-19, it's so easy to get caught up in all the fear and disappointment that's going on and letting it rule us. And this has kind of made me remember a Christmas holiday years ago, right after I'd graduated from college. My family was all going to be at my brother's house, and I accompanied my parents reluctantly. I was very down and disappointed with circumstances in my life, and I was not going to go, but I ended up deciding to ride with my parents. And I was hopeful, I think, that God was going to somehow encourage me. During the visit, as the only single sibling, I ended up having a makeshift bed in the den. And one night, as I was trying to go to sleep, I heard voices talking. And I realized it was my mom and dad. And they were talking about me. And so that got my attention. And I could make out what they were saying. And my mom was telling my dad that she was very, very concerned about me, that she had never seen me that down. And my dad paused, but in his very distinctive Texas accent said, "Mom, Candy's the most resilient person I know. She is going to make it." And just to hear that, it really changed everything for me. I was struggling because I had always felt that I was such a disappointment to my parents, and really I was. But the fact that my dad believed in me was, I don't know, it just made such a big deal in my life. And this made me think about Jesus. Jesus had his disciples who were really struggling with him, and yet he still chose to go to the cross. His disciples disappointed and abandoned him, and yet he believed in his disciples. Through his death and resurrection, Jesus both taught and helped his disciples to believe that they could carry on the work that he himself had begun. Jesus believed that after his death, in the midst of overwhelming persecution and the chaos of the time, that his people would continue to spread his, what I think of, crazy kind of love. And I always think about Jesus. He chose a group of misfits, but he believed with his love and grace that they could begin to rescue the chaotic and broken world that he loved. And they did. During this time of brokenness and isolation, I think Jesus believes in us, and I just love that. I hope you will choose to look for how God is moving in and around you today, even if it's just in your own room or with your family or roommate, and join him in loving his creation, even in the midst of chaos and not knowing. There's still so much we can do with social media and email and cell phones. Anyway, stay well. I look forward to seeing you on campus soon.